I've cut around the edges here with the tin snips here. Snip, 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 snip all the way around. Cut that out, and this one too, and then I took out the fan, and because it was flipped upside down, and the fan was on the other side, I flipped the motor around, and I also cut the fan part off here with first the tin snips and then scissors to get really close around the edge. So, and then I added a piece of wood, a circle piece of wood I cut out here with the saw, a jigsaw, made the circles, and then I used the screws here and the sides here to bolt that, and finally on the bottom it's mounted to a piece of wood which the screws go in to hold it all together, and that way it's a nice solid fit here, like this, nice solid, doesn't wobble or anything, and these are nice spinning pieces, so we'll turn it on. There we go. We can change the directions of this one, change the directions of this one. So everything's looking smooth right now. We're going to put a little plate over top, and before we do that, one more thing is we apply the magnets. Now these magnets here are very powerful neodymium magnets that are I believe a 19-pound pull on them each here, so they're very hard to pull apart. Now you just only need 2 of these if you have these powerful ones, and what you want to do is you want to reverse the polarity, so you're pushing and it's pushing away, it's pushing off to the side, not to pull in, not so you go, and then you place it on the sides here like this, there, boom, and then we're going to tape that on here. We're going to tape these on, the same with this side as well. Reverse the polarities, make sure, place it on. And the nice thing is nuts have a hexagonal structure which lines them up perfectly as well. So then we'll get the tape going, and these are the tools you will need. That are really good tools to have, is the tin snips to cut open the plastic part, and also the screwdriver. You will also need the scissors as well to cut the fan off there around the edges here, the fan that's spinning around, scissors as well. You'll need these to cut the cord, to connect the cords up when you take the motors out. Now in this case I didn't have to do that because the motors were already attached to this, and this one was really easy to build. If you think about it, all I added to it was the wood pieces in there on the bottom and screwed it in, and the rest I just cut out the existing stuff, so that was really easy. And you may want to have a marker as well that you may need. Some screws is good to have around. Magnets as well here. I've got an array of different kind of magnets. These ones here are 7 millimeters. You want 7 to 9 millimeter magnets in different sizes of about 1 inch to 1.5 inches or even 2 inches, depending on how strong your motor is and how powerful you want the magnet inside to make a powerful vortex. Alright folks, and I'm going to show you where we're at now with this project. Couple things. First, I just want to show you, I got this glass carboy here today at a thrift store, and I paid $7.50. I find these a lot also on online classifieds, like where we live we got Used Victoria, and so online classifieds, if they have that around where you live, then check it out. You can usually find these for $10 to 15, tops $20 each. Sometimes you find them for $5 if you're lucky. I sometimes find them at thrift stores as well for really cheap, even $5 or between $5 and $10. So this one is I believe a 4-gallon. It's either a 4 or 5-gallon. I think this one is a 4, and it's great. It's got a nice little window here that you can see the vortex. and this is all reinforced. When these little glass pieces come down, reinforced around, that really reinforces it, and less likely to crack. And this one here also, the ones that have these little ridges here like that, the bottoms of them have a nice little indent here. If you look from the side, you can see how it goes in and comes back out like a little dimple in here, and that is perfect for what happens is you raise up the magnet a little bit above there, so you make it perfectly for your glass carboy here, because each one's a bit different. And these ones that come up like that, what you can end up doing is putting the gemstones and crystals all around the outside, because it's like a funnel and the magnet goes in the middle, and that way you're mineralizing the water with all the gemstones and healing qualities, and you're actually ingesting those healing properties, as opposed to just having them, you know, sitting around in a box or in an altar. Or it's great too, but when you can ingest it, you really become those energies in a conscious way. So I really love these carboys that have the little indents like that. If you find one online, just ask them. They just ask them if there's a little indent in the bottom there, or if there's a picture and you see these lines, then that's a good chance that it's one of these carboys that have the dimples like that, for putting the crystals around the little trough around the side. So we'll do that. But just to show you, like, you know, these are great, and $7.50. I paid for that one, all glass. So that's a beauty. And today at the thrift store as well, I found another one of these fans and tested it. Same thing, both fans go both ways, and this one has a few speeds as well, 2 or 3 speeds. So 2 fans go either way, and so you can deactivate the microbes and neutralize the water by bringing it to a balanced state by turning it to the left. You flip the switch, and then you charge the water by structuring it to the right, depending on what hemisphere of the earth you're on, the northern or southern hemisphere. Other than that, you can work 2 jars at the same time, and I paid $27.95 plus tax, so about $30 for this fan that can do all that. I have seen this fan as well in the used online classifieds online for $10 as well, and the 2 fans, so that's an excellent deal. And they also sell them at hardware stores. Where I live, there's Canadian Tire and Walmart, and they sell these as well for about the same price I paid for this one, about $25 to $35, and you can get them brand new with a warranty or whatever, and they're really easy to convert. So check out my other video as well. Other ones, I'll be making this one from scratch as well again. And so I just wanted to show you that those fans are available, and I was really excited to see that they're easily accessible, you know, pretty much all around the world. It's called a window fan. They call them window fans. So as you can see, we've modified this one quite a bit. I've now added this top board here, and on the sides I added 2 little boards here to give it nice, so this won't bend or anything. It's all solid. So this can hold 2 carboys, 4-gallon or 5-gallon carboys, just perfectly right in there, and they can spin either direction. So basically, all I really did was I just took like a glass or any round thing, a bowl, traced it around, then drilled a hole in either near the sides, and then just cut it out with a jigsaw like that. And then I just measured it, this part with a paper first, and then cut it out, and then put that on and traced it over the board. And so it's all nice, fits nice. There's a nice little snug here, and that way this is beauty. So at this point, the carboy will just go over the middle here and another one here, and you can do your structured water and the highest level, where we're going to change the molecular structure by changing the hydrogen bond angle to hexagonal instead of pentagonal. So we're going to get into more of that. Keep watching this video here. The next phase we're going to do here, now that I've added this board, you can see that the magnets here are way too low. They're indented. Now these carboys over here, this one I harvested spirulina from the freshwater springs, and I got the YouTube channel Living Spirulina, and that's how to structure the spirulina to activate it in its dormant stage in the winter. And you can see how it's going green too. It'll actually produce spirulina from the colloids of the minerals in the rocks and soil coming out of the spring, because the spirulina, there's 6 different strains coming from these ponds. So this carboy here, you see how it doesn't have the little notches. So if you look at the bottom, there's no indent here, and it's a bit rough as well. And so, you know, there are better ones than others, but they kind of all work, and some are quieter as well. So like I said, I highly recommend this style right here that have the reinforcement with the dimple here. They're really nice. And so yeah, the spirulina water, there's the carboy, and like I said, so this one doesn't have the dent in here. So in that case, if you were making your thing for this one, you wouldn't want the magnet to rise above this flat part here. So you've got to customize the magnets and the height depending on what glass jar you're using. So what we're going to do now is what I did is I screwed in the sides here, 2 screws there and 2 screws over here. So unscrew those. Then to raise these magnets up, I'm going to place these 2 boards underneath and then screw by mounting these motors onto these. So I'll show you that process. I'll just open this up and then I'll show you, and that way we'll raise it up for these nice carboys here, and we'll measure it and get it perfect. So it's just about 1 or 2 millimeters below the glass, so it never touches and there's never any friction. So that's the beauty. Alright. Okay, so we'll just unscrew it here. Okay, so that's what we're looking like there. It's just that piece just slides right on, and then it's just mounted onto this piece to hold it all together. So as you've seen before in here, if you remember, I added these pieces of wood circles in here. So all I'm doing is I screwed those into the bottom here. So we're just going to add these pieces of wood underneath those pieces there, and we'll be ready to go here. So just gonna unscrew these. Okay, so that's how I've mounted that in there. Now we'll just put in another piece of wood here, and then you see you can always add more magnets too at the end. By adding more magnets, you can raise the height too and make a stronger magnetic field. So it's basically, I just want this centered right there. Now we should just be able to screw this in, and then we have a new higher mounting there. That's beauty. Alright, so got that piece in there. It's moving still, so before I mount it into the bottom piece of wood, we'll take off this one now and add the other piece of wood. piece underneath. Alright. Alright, that's good. Alright, now we'll put the top back on. And then we'll just adjust these a little bit here. Alright, that looks good. So, and I noticed when I put the carboys on before, I just wanted to bring these out a little bit more too. So that's good. That way both carboys can fit, and there could be a tiny little space in the middle still. So that's perfect. Now we'll just take this off here, and the same thing, we're just going to mount this piece to the wood on the bottom there to hold it all together. So just screw in some more screws here. There's one. Only need two. Alright. And the other side. And then the fun part that's coming is we're going to redo the magnets here as well. What I like to do is put a clear tape across so you can see the magnets. It's cool then, that way that you can show them the magnets. Show your friends your little machine. And one more. Just getting the first part started. There we go. Alright, that's looking good, and last thing to do is just put the top back on. Right there, it's not perfectly centered, but it doesn't matter. It's all about that it structures the water, not necessarily how nice it looks. Okay, so what I'm looking at here now is that this one has popped out a little bit above the wood here, so that's nice, and this one is just below it right now, just slightly under. So that may work for the flat carboys, and this one may work for the indent here, the little indent on the carboy. So I'll just fix this up here, and we'll work on the magnets here. We'll be right back to show you exactly the magnets, and we'll redo that part. Okay, so we're back here, and before I screw on the lid here, Last thing to do is, like I said, we're gonna do the magnets here. We're gonna fix the magnets. So we'll just undo this. Take all this tape off here. It'd be good to use some scissors for that. Alright, and so these magnets too, I don't know if I told you where to get them. I get them locally at a place called Lee Valley, and they also sell all their magnets online. So I will put the link on the video here where you can buy these exact magnets. These are really high powered ones. They're actually a 30-pound pull. 30-pound pull, and they're 1 inch in diameter, and they're like an 1/8 thick, I believe. So 2 of them put together is it's a 60-pound pull. If you had 2 more, that's 60 pounds. So these are really powerful, that can change the hydrogen bond angle of the water, and they're also really good for these motors here for spinning high-powered magnets, which we're going to get into here as well, what kind of magnets to use for inside the glass carboys. Now you'll find that if you use really small motors, you know, from say a computer hard drive or something like that, or smaller fans, you can probably get away with just regular magnets, the really cheap ones you can get, you know, at the dollar store or hardware stores, which are the black magnets, and those are not rare earth magnets, and they're nowhere near the strength, but you can probably get away with that with smaller motors with fans. But as soon as you're getting at big carboys and the glass stuff, you gotta get the rare earth neodymium. They're called neodymium, and that's the really high powered magnets that you're gonna want to get. So I'll put the link to this where you can get these ones as well as the other ones, probably at the end of the video. Then as we do it again at the end, I'll show you all the variations of magnets, and I'll have the links to the exact magnet, and I'll talk about what each magnet does depending on what you want to do. Like if you want to, you know, if you want one of these high powered ones that can do the big glass jars, or you just want a small one, because in reality, you know, you can just charge the water with a little glass. You can make just a small one for the size of a glass or whatever, and that's it. You just throw it on before you drink the water, and it's simple, easy. It packs small too. It's easy to travel with as well. Alright, so we got these magnets out, and now we're ready to redo this with the magnets. And you want it to be really clean operation here. So once you have your magnets, if you remember from before, you want to bring them together, and it'll just naturally pull together like that. Now that's when they do that, you have a north and a south. They're opposing. So in this case, we have a little hexagon here of a nut here, the 6-sided. So that's cool. Just pull them apart, put them down right at either sides of the sides of the nut, which is perfect. It lines them up, and then we're going to apply the tape. So same with this. It's together here like that, straight across and down. Now you have the north and the south. You can't have north and north or south and south, or the magnet won't spin. Next, you're going to want some tape, and clear tape is what I highly recommend. That way you can see the magnets. This tape is really good too, the thicker stuff of the clear, as well as this stuff. This is duct. It's called duck, like duct tape, but it's actually clear, so it's really strong as well. And so I'm just gonna first apply it right over the top. Well, actually, because there's a little nut there, I can see that'll potentially rip the tape. So let's go to the side, right from the start. Just go down the side like that. And you just use your intuition, you know, as to how you want to build your. It's all custom custom work. And then across this way, because you want to get all the sides of it so it can't move, because if there's any chance it'll move when it's spinning, it will, and then the magnets could go flying and stuff. It's happened to me before. So basically you want to make sure you get it all right, and just nice clean pieces of tape too, so you keep that part nice and flat. There's no crevices and no folds in the tape. That is really important for that. Nice and flat along the top. Just give it a good seal. And you don't want any tape dragging on the bottom too, or it makes noise. So you want to either use the scissors or just cut it. And then at the very end, we're going to want to wrap it around the sides to hold it all in. Otherwise, eventually the tape will give and it'll come apart. But once you make this right like this, unless the motor dies, like, you're good to go. So it's a great thing. You make this machine once, it could last you years. And once you've made one, you know how to do it, and they're really easy. And then you can make a more powerful one, or get some creative ideas going as well. Start collecting some gems. Get some books on gems and their healing qualities. I highly recommend Love is in the Earth. It's a gemstone book, gems and crystals, and talks about their healing qualities, and very, very nice knowledge. Alright, so now we've got it all taped up here. And now to make it nice and beautiful as well, I'm gonna add some color, but I'm gonna keep the magnets exposed right here, this part, so you can see them, just for showing other people. It's all for show. You really don't need to, because the magnet is there and you know it's there, but when you can see it, it helps the intention. So I'm going to duplicate this with the other one. You can either fast forward this video and just see the process as it comes along. And I'm just going to take my time, do a good job. And you can always reposition these magnet things if you want it to be right in the center of your holes. You could also cut the holes smaller, so you could put smaller bottles as well on there. Entirely up to you, but there's also other things you can do by adding just putting a piece of plexiglass over the top of this if the magnet's just below, and that's another option. So it's looking nice now. I like that. Alright, so that's the basic concept. If I want to fill in the details right there just to get the circle, I just cut, little triangles and pieces and fit them in there, which I'll do later. But for now, this is good. And if I want to readjust this to fit in the holes, I just unscrew these and move it in the middle and then screw it back in. So it's easy to change and mount it. But finally, once you do that, and all the pieces should go all the way to the end, so from end to end, and enough so that when you wrap your final tape around the sides, it's holding everything together, and there's no way anything can come loose now because it's completely sealed. You give it some pressure so there's elastic connection on there, and now that is solid there. It's beauty. That's awesome. Okay, so I'll just complete this one here. You've seen this one, and I'll just continue on here. Alright, now we got the top here to just go back on. I'm happy with where we had it mounted already anyways, because basically I'm going to be leaving the carboys on here. This is their home, and now you just turn it on and off daily, and you can also put it on a timer, which is I'm going to do so that we can create have it on autopilot so that it goes on at whatever time you want during the day, however many times a day. So here we go. We're just going to now screw this lid on top, and then we'll just adjust this by adding or subtracting magnets. And so we got our base there, and let's just now, one thing when you're screwing these in, because the glass carboys are going here, you want to make sure that the head of the screw is beneath the wood. That's very important. Okay. Alright, that's all sunken in. It's all good for the carboys. Now this one is looking good. If I show you from the side, this one is maybe just slightly above there, so really close, and this one is a little bit more than just slightly above, so it's probably perfect for the one carboy. We'll test it now. We'll test. Let's take the carboy here and place it on. We'll see if it rubs. Okay, so it's touching. Alright, so that's too high. This one is too high. Okay, let's see how it is for this one here. And that is about perfect here, just slightly above. That's looking good. So last thing is I'll fine tune these, and I'll come back and show you how they just barely touch, and I'll show you how you can measure it so you're within a few millimeters here. So I'll just adjust these, and then I'll show you what I did. Okay, so this is what we've done here, folks. Now that it's all screwed down here with the table, and this one was popping up, and this one, what I found was the carboy here that I got today for $7.50 with the little indent here. If you look at the indent right here, you might not be able to see on the camera, but it indents and then it comes up a little bit in the middle. So because there's a little indent in the middle there, this carboy is just slightly touching
this little piece of screw at the top that's coming out of the hexagon nut there, there's a little, almost an eighth of an inch that is above and beyond, protruding out beyond the magnets here. So what I'm going to do, the fact that it's just barely touching, and because that's metal right in the center, it's not going to have that much resistance on the motor, but you don't want any parts touching, even though, you know. So what I'm going to do is, because I can feel it there, as I move it across the little nipple here in the middle, it doesn't touch here where the indent is, so it's only a couple millimeters. So I'm just going to file this down, and this carboy will be perfect for that one. And now this other carboy over here that I have, it's similar to that one. This one has a nice big indent as well, but there's no nipple in the middle, so that one fits right over this one and it doesn't touch. So this one is perfect for there. This one I'm just going to file down, and that was it. We didn't have to add any more additional magnets or anything, just modified it by the carboys that we have, and so I'll just file that down now. Right. Get in here. It's nice the magnet holds it down too, that's kind of cool. Nice and flat. Okay, we're back here, folks, and what I've done is it's been all filed down there, as you saw, me filing away. Then I added a couple more pieces of clear tape and resealed it with the blue tape, just because the file was actually pulling to the magnet and scraping some of the the tape off the magnet there. So just resealed that up, and now look, if we turn it on, here we go, there it's on. This one's going, this one's going. See how quiet it is? It's quite quiet, and when the vortex is coming down, it sounds like sounds of nature, like flushing, a flushing sound. So this one is perfect. It's not touching, and it just goes right on there. And of course we can change the directions. Watch it switch there. So dual. Now this one here that we've been grinding, because there's a dimple there, but the middle comes back up, like I said, on the side here, look, no sound, but as I go closer to the middle, just a little sound. So it shows you how close you are to the glass. If you hear a little bit of noise like that, you can notice that's not going to affect the motor, so it's okay, but you don't want that sound, obviously. Totally annoying. So I'm just going to file it down a little bit more, and then we'll fill it up with water and some crystals, and we'll show you how to structure the water here. Alright, be back. Alright, now folks, I've ground it down a lot more, and it's not making a sound. We'll turn it on here. Turn it on, and you can see right here, lined up right in the middle, just a tiny little, no sound right there, but almost a sound right there, a tiny little bit. But so what it is, I found out if you put pressure on the carboy like this, it makes a bit of a noise, so as there's water in there, it's going to cause it to touch more. So what I found out is it's bendy here a little bit, it goes down, which if the carboy has a lot of water, it'll be heavy and it'll push it down. So what I'm going to do, we're going to show you, I'm going to pop up these screws again and then put some wood in the middle so this can't move at all, so it'll be completely solid. And this baby will be done. We'll get some water in there and we'll structure her up. This is awesome. Full tutorial on the double window fan with alternating both directions. Awesome. Alright, so to prop this up here so it doesn't bend like this, just need something under the middle, and you can lift it up a bit to pry it in. So these two pieces of wood are perfect. I'm just going to put this one in here, slide this one in, and it's a snug fit, so I just lift up a little bit, that way it's a nice solid snug fit. And then last thing I'll do here is I'll just screw in a screw there to hold it all in so it doesn't move. That again. Oh, got it going in reverse, no wonder. There we go. And it doesn't need to go all the way, there we go. And that should be looking good now. So I'll just pop this guy back on. This way. There we go. And if everything's, let's see, yeah, it doesn't move now, it's solid. So we'll just we'll test it all again. Remember to countersink it. Go. Alright, now there's no give. Let's test it, and I'll push down on the carboy as well. Press them both down, make sure everything's solid, then we'll add the water and maybe some crystals too. Alright, let's turn this baby on. Alright, yeah, I'm pressing really hard right in the center. This one, yeah, alright, that's perfect. Alright, so this is looking really good here. And I'm really happy with this. The machine's on. We'll now get the water in. I just want to show you, point out, you can see there's a little seam right through the center here, a little bit of space between them. So that's perfect. You want to just space it out so that the carboys are going to fit in there without touching. So there it is. Then I'm going to show you how to clean the carboys as well with a carboy cleaner. We're going to do that. We'll add the water, and I'll show you the magnets, where to get them, and yeah, so continue on. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to take care of the carboys here, how to clean them and stuff. So a couple tools you're going to want. This is a carboy cleaner right here. Get them at a wine supply store, wine making supply. And this part is metal here, so you basically just put a nice little bend in it, like a 90-degree, and it fits right inside there nice and snug, so it does a really good job cleaning. When you have the 90-degree on there, you can get around it and wipe anything that's off in there and go up and down like this. So, and then it comes out and it will clean anything in the neck as well. So these are about, they're under $5. I think they're like $3 or something. And then here I'm using natural 7th generation all natural product for cleaning. So add some water to the bottom, put some soap in. I'm going to be cleaning both of them here right now. Show you the process here. Add the soap, and then so I also clean the outside of the carboys too, and I like to use a SOS pad, just a handheld one, some soap, and that'll wipe off anything that's stuck to it, anything and any dirt stuff with the soap water and the SOS pad for the outside. And then if there's any, like if you bought it used at a thrift store or something, what I take is a little wood dowling like this, or a piece of metal, whatever you want, small enough to fit in the neck, and then I just tape some SOS pad to the end. That way this can get some really, if there's rust in the bottom or something, if you bought it used, you can get right in there and clean the bottom, go around and scrub it around. It's really good for getting the bottom. But the sides you can't get with the straight ones, so you need the carboy cleaner, and that could the carboy cleaner could pretty much do everything, unless you have really cake stuff on there if you bought it used and it's all ground on. So other than that, you really only need one of these, or you can make your own too if you wanted, but they are inexpensive. So you go in there, get it all nice and soapy, and then just go up gently. You just go up and down the sides, over and over and over, and then make sure you rinse it really well too when you're done. And also make sure you get up here around the sides, but just by going like this, spinning it around back and forth, and clean around the top as well. So you just want to clean the whole thing up really good, and then rinse it out really good in the bathtub. The bathtub works really good for that. And if you are using, that's more tip, the SOS pad here, just make sure that you don't have any of that left in here. You just make sure you rinse it out really good. You want it to be really nice inside. So I'm just going to finish cleaning up these with the carboy cleaner and then rinse them out. I'll fill up the charged water with my Nikan PiMag water filter, which magnetically charges it and filters it with 3 filters. And then we'll get this up and running. We'll talk a little bit about magnets and the gemstones that I like to use for water, and we'll complete this project. Okay folks, we're back here. I filled it up with the water. They're all clean now. Soap and water, inside outside, fully rinsed. So here we go. It's all working now. I got the magnets in there. We're going to go over the magnets that you'll need for these machines with the 4-gallon or 5-gallon. So press it on. You can see the magnets spinning in the bottom there. The magnets, when they're spinning like that, create a tube torus, and you can see it, and it vibrates, it moves back and forth, this tube torus. And tube torus are very powerful, sacred geometric structures, and because it's a magnetic field, very, very powerful. It's sending out amazing, powerful energies into the water. Now you can hear how quiet the machine is as well, these machines, and that has to do with the little plastic tubing I put over the magnet. So we're going to go over that. Now this is power number 1 right now. This one has about 5 speeds and plus both directions. So I'll just go over it. If you notice how big this vortex is versus this one here, if you see in the diameter of them, it might not be good from that angle. I'll move the angle down a little bit for you to see the difference. I'll move a little closer. Okay, now so from this angle you can see here how much thicker the base is up at the top of the top of it here versus this one. You notice how this one's got a little wave in it. I'll talk about how I got it to do that. I could get this one to do that too. That all has to do with the plastic tubing and how close you cut it off to the magnets. And I use magnetic spheres, and that works the best, and that creates the tube torus. So this one with the nice spirals like that, I really like that as well, because that's sending vibration through there. But you can change that depending on what you want. Now the reason why this one is thinner here and not as thick at the base is because the sphere magnet is only half an inch, and this one is 15 millimeters. Now both of these are available. This one here per magnet is around $3.50, so it's $7, and that's all you need is those two magnets, and then two of the 1-inch diameter ones that I showed you before, which we're going to go over. They come in packs of 5 for around $13, so it ends up being $15 for 5, which means they're $3 each. So you would be able to do both machines for buying the good magnets here. I mean both fans for the $15 after tax, and then these ones here are $3.50, so that would be additional $7. So you're looking at 15 plus 7. You're looking like $25 to $30 to have two of these, just like we made here. And the magnets and the fan you may get for 10 or 20 to possibly 30 at the most. So we're going to go over the magnets right in detail at the very end. Now this is speed 1, so if we turn it up another notch, and you see it periodically hits the magnets and creates all the bubbles as you see there right now, and that's the oxygen, of course. And that's also going to be for growing the spirulina to oxygenate the water. So check that out, as I mentioned before, the living spirulina. So we'll go to the next speed, and now there'll be more oxygen and oxygenation. You're seeing the bubbles and you hear the sound now. So the speed number 1 is very quiet, and there's almost no sound, and it's very nice visual too. And it's not as much oxygenating, but now a little bit more. And see, this one's hovering at 0 point. It strikes once in a while, but it's the magnets are smaller, so it's not quite as strong. Now we go up another speed here, and now we're going to see a big difference in the vortex here. And there we go, major oxygenation now, and that one as well. A lot more going to get some major strikes of oxygenation. I go up another speed again. Another speed there, getting more sounds. And it's full speed now. So we're going to turn this off now. Now you see there was not a lot of oxygenation, but the only way we need to do to change that is just have less water. So what I'll do now is I'll show you the difference. We'll take off some water, and you'll see. Take out some water and you'll see how much of a difference it'll oxygenate much quicker. So we'll check that out. Alright guys, so here we are back now. Look, the water's only to here and down here to show you the difference in how much it will oxygenate here. So before they were way up here like that. So check this out. We'll turn it on. Oops, that magnet popped there. Let me just turn it off again. That can happen once in a while, but because I'll show you the plastic tube and how that protects it from breaking the glass if it pops like that. But so basically what I've done is I've just put a little small magnet on the end here. Now if you connect this way, it doesn't want to connect like this, but if here it does like that. So when you put it in, you don't want to put it on this end that you would think, because you can't get it off very easy. So you put it on the end that it doesn't connect, but when it pushes off to the side like this, it goes boop, and it connects there off to the side. That's how you want to drop it in, because then this part will connect to the magnet under the jar, and then boop, you could just pop it off really easy like that. So you don't want to have it on this end, otherwise you're going to have a hard time getting it out, and you're going to try to push it in and you could break the glass. So you just you see how it won't go to the middle, just boom, go right onto the side like that, just hangs there, and then you're just going to drop it in like this. So you just go down the middle, it'll pull to one of the sides of the magnet, then just drop it in the other side and you just boop, pull it off to the side like that, and it's in like that. So we'll try it again. Let me just make sure we're right in the center here. Alright, it's looking good. Yeah, so it's fairly easy to get it in there that way. And then to get it out too, you can either kind of go in the middle and then push it off to the side like that, and then just get the magnet connected and pull it right up the top like that. And that's either if it goes that way or this way for coming out. Either way, just be gentle. Now I'll take this one out as well, and I'll show you the difference between the two magnets here. So again, you can try to just get it in the middle of the magnet and then push it to the side and then connect it like that. Now it is important that after you structure your water that you take out the magnet. If your magnet is perfect and it has no scratches, no iron on it, and you put this plastic tubing, which I'll show you and where to get it and what it is, it's basically just plastic hose that you get at hardware store or a fish aquarium place. Readily available, and there's different size thickness. So you're only going to need like a foot, so it's around maybe $1 a foot or 50 cents a foot, depending what size you get. So it's pliable. It moves a bit. Now they use this for water and hoses, and it's you know, so it's a pretty good product. And what it is, it makes it so quiet. Like for the longest time, I was applying the magnets directly in with the glass, and it was really loud, spinning around, just grinding against the glass there. And then so I tried coating it like this. I have also bought the ones that you get for like chemists for chemistry and stuff, where it's a little stir bar, it's called, and those potentially could work too. But these magnets are more powerful for doing bigger vortexes, because these are rare earth magnets and they're very, very strong. And so if you look here, there's two different ones here. This is the 15mm one, and I will put the link at the end of the video, or even maybe here now as well, where to get the 1/2" ones that create a bigger vortex, stronger magnetic field. And then these ones are the 1/2". So the 1/2" are about $3.50 each, and the 15mm, the quite bigger ones, are about $5.50 each. And then here's just some in between. I spread it out, but either way you can just get the 15mm, which works, as you've seen, about just as good as well, or you can get these ones that are $1.50 more or whatever, and they're both good. So the 15mm sphere, you can look anywhere online, magnets for less, they're all out there. 15mm sphere or the 1/2" sphere. And then the plastic tubing, there's different sizes, and you could even bring in your magnet and fit it. You want it to just push in there and fit in there snug. So and then here, if you see cutting off the sides here, I left a little bit on this side here to make it a little wider, because this one was wider. So that worked out pretty good. And I have tried making them really long on the sides as well, and it doesn't hold, because it's like a propeller, and then it falls off. So you want to cut them pretty tight. You can leave a little bit, or you can just do it really tight like the one I did down here, to try that. Now this prevents the magnet from oxidizing when you have this, because this protective coat doesn't touch the glass. When the magnet touches the glass, that's where it oxidizes, where it touches the glass. But if there's little oxidization or scratches and cuts and things in the magnets, they will eventually oxidize if you leave them in the water. I left this one in the water for about a week, and there was no signs of any oxidation or rust. Now those magnets are in really good condition. So, but what I recommend is just you know, doing the vortex and then taking it out with your little magnetic rod. or a metal rod, whatever you're using. So that's part of the maintenance of it. And then so again, I'll put them in so you can see. Again, just to show you, that's the side that connects, so you want to flip it around and just connect to the side so it can fall off really easy. And just place it in. It'll connect and pull it off. Same with this one. If it connects there, you want it to be on the side like that. And just go in. Oh, and one more note. If you do cut it off like this, we're leaving a little bit of space on the side, you can then just drop it in too, and it'll land right on. But if you cut it too close to the magnet, it'll still hit the glass and it could break the glass. So I recommend just leave a little lip like that. It works really good. So that's how simple that is. And we'll just fire up one more time. And you see it, the tube torus happening in the magnets there. And you see how much more oxygenation with the water being down low like that. It's just constant oxygenation, and very much more like the whole water becomes a tube torus, just like the magnet. So if we even put the water lower, like even here, it's almost like a big tube torus ring, and major oxygenation as well. So amazing sacred geometric structures here. I'm going to turn the speed up a bit, and now just full oxygenation in there. Beautiful, huge vortex coming in there now. So just shut this off here. And then finally, the last thing I'm going to show you. Now this structures the water, but it does not change the hydrogen bond angle. It does not change the molecular structure from pentagonal to hexagonal structured water. And I'm in the process of refining that and learning how to do it exactly. The basic principle is that you apply powerful magnets around the vortex and pulling the magnetic field out, so it's stretching the hydrogen bond angle and adding this extra hydrogen bond angle. Now those magnets should be applied very close to the vortex. So if we're gonna, as an experiment with these card boys, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the water all the way up to the top here, and then I apply the magnets right around the rim, so the vortex, the magnets are very close to the vortex, and this is gonna create the oxygenation as well as supercharge and change the hydrogen bond angle, or at least start changing the molecular structure of the water and starting to make it more wetter, permeable water, and more bioavailable to our cells. So I'll fill that up and we'll test it out, and I'll show you that magnetic the magnets to make the hexagonal water, and how you use the magnets. So before I do that last thing, I'll just do a tiny bit of water here, and we'll see how it oxygenates, and then we'll do the final thing at the top. Alright, and we're back here, folks. We just got this down here, so let's give this a try and see how much it oxygenates now. Major. And you can now see how even the bubbles inside are part of that tube torus energy, and all the water itself is a big tube torus. So it's highly structured water like that as well. But now we're going to go next level here, and we're going to actually attempt to change the hydrogen bond angle here of the water, and change the molecular structure to a more high integrity, more stable molecule capable of higher consciousness. Alright, we'll be back. We'll fill up the water to the top here. A little higher too. Alright, here's the test to see if this is going to work. I have now filled it all the way, the water right to the top here. and here. So we're going to apply the magnets if this works. I'm really hoping this does. This is really exciting. This will be potentially change the molecular structure. So let's see what we got here. Start off in speed number 1 here, and we'll see if we can get the vortex to come through the center. It's probably going to take a little longer to get that water spinning in there. I've done it before with the big demijohn, the 12-gallon one, and it had a really hard time making the connection for the vortex because the bottle here, the neck is so small, it can't get the vortex funnel going. But oh, here we go, it's starting to funnel. The one on the left there, the bubbles are starting to come down. If you look here, you can see the 0 point energy, some nice slow oxygenation. And now we're starting to get a little genie of the bottle connection there, a little silver thread, little air bubble thread coming down both of them. So very beautiful with some 0 point, sometimes the bubble going up, sometimes down right in and oxygenating. So this is beautiful. This is, and they're very, very quiet. Even the sound of the bubbles are just a nice little beautiful sound here. So right here is where we want to change the hydrogen bond angle here on the neck of the bottle. We want to apply 6 of these magnets here that we talked about. I'm going to open this up and show you what they look like. So one of these is after taxes approximately $15, and you get 5 of them. So like I said, $3 each. Now the ends come with a washer here. That's so because you got to be careful. They can break if you pull one apart and you let go, and they tend to pull. So you got to be really careful. And when you put them together, just put them together really softly, because if they break, they're not very usable for this stuff, because you need them to be perfectly round like this. So pack of 5 is not enough to do the 6 for the structuring of changing the hydrogen bond angle, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you're really serious about it, you should get 2 packs of 5, so you'll have 10. So you'll have enough to do for the fans as well as the changing the hydrogen bond angle. That's what I'm saying. You got to be careful. So if you have 2 packs like that, you also just store them like that, or even inside the bottles like this, and then just stack them like this. So there's the magnets there, and like I said, I'll have the links at the end of the video as well as in the description. Now here is the little tool that I made. Here's more of those magnets. I got quite a few of them now. I've been collecting them to make these powerful water vortex machines for making monoatomic elements as well, monatomic gold. So these be very careful. So if you got the little washers to go with it, just be sure to use those so that they don't chip, and you just have those on the ends. Now this little thing I made here, this is what's going to change the hydrogen bond angle, because what we're doing here is we're adding a total of 6 magnets. There's 1, 2, 3, that one, this one right here, 4, 5, and 6 in a perfect hexagon. So just tape this last one on here. Now you want them all to be connecting, so if you put this here, they should all move in towards each other like that, and that's what's going to be able to do the right positioning of the magnets. So we center this up, and I'm going to go on how to make this little tool as well to change the hydrogen bond angle, but ultimately you want it to be really, really close to a perfect hexagon structure with the magnets. You don't want it to be off a little like this one and this one. They should all be matching. So this is my little prototype just to work with here and to try this out, and I'm liking it so far. It's a piece of aluminum bar that what I've done is I've just attached it around and then bent the ends here so that it can put a little clip in there like that, and it just holds in, so you can put it around the neck and go like that. Now because these magnets are all pushing out like that, it's pulling the water, as it spins in the vortex here and it goes over the top, it's pulling the hydrogen bond angles by the magnetic field and stretching them to potentially change the hydrogen bond angle completely from 5-sided to 6-sided water. So we're going to be more testing to find out how to know if it actually does that and to do the scientific testing. So I'll just show you, this clips over the top like this, and you just line it up like that, and that's going to be the real power. Alright, and I just want you to see also that it does go both ways. It can spin left, and just to remind you that spinning the vortex to the left is going to deactivate the microbes and bring it to a balanced neutral state, and then by spinning it clockwise to the right, if you're in the northern hemisphere, then that's going to charge and structure the water and oxygenate it. Both ways will oxygenate it, but spinning it to the right will supercharge the water and structure it. Spinning it to the left will deactivate the microbes and bring it to a balanced neutral. So first you want to spin it to the left, bring it to a balanced neutral, and then charge it, supercharge it to the right, and then and that'll structure it. But to change the hydrogen bond angle, you're going to need these very powerful magnets, or even more powerful, depending on how strong you want to make this machine. This is just to give you a rough idea. This is not the final product, but it is really good still. It just clips right on there. You can bring it with you. It's also, you can even use it as a bracelet too for healing. But in any case, for now, that's going to be good with these magnets. And I'm just going to show you, we're going to spin it to the left here and balance it. So the switches are on the back. I've already switched them. So now the magnets are going to be balancing and neutralizing the water. So now you can see it's starting to move up top here, and it's going to start coming down, and the first few bubbles. And I don't know if you can see there, but there is, if you look at the bubbles inside, they're spinning to the left now. And this one's just starting now as well. Really nice and quiet machine. 0 point energy, just a nice little thread and a nice oxygenation to the left there. So you may want to just run this for a few minutes, 1 to 5 minutes to the left, even maybe 10 if you want, and then right. And then I'll just flip the switches, but I think it's important to turn off the motor before you switch it because of the magnet in there. It's going to help your motors last longer. And now spin it to the right. Now see, the reason why it popped off that time is because the water was still spinning the other way. So just give it a second. And that's it, folks. After this, you've seen it all. You've seen this one from start to finish. Where to get the fans, classified ads online, garage sales, thrift stores are really good. And these magnets here. Alright, so just watch the screen here and I will flash all the links, or go to the video description to find the links of where to get the magnets here. So basically it's a total of these 1-inch diameter magnets that are a 30-pound pull, or you can get variations of a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. It depends on what you want, but I'm liking this. It's a 1-inch with an 8-inch thickness. So sorry, say that again. It's a 1-inch diameter by a 1/8 inch thickness there. And these ones come, like I said before, in a pack of 5 for after tax $15. Now there might be a bit of shipping. These magnets though you can find them online, and it's good to get a good variety of magnets as well. But these ones, you'll find the link there. I recommend those ones. Those ones work good for changing the hydrogen bond angle as well as for putting on the motors. And before I told you about the sphere magnets, in there. There's the 15 millimeter and the 1/2 inch diameter ones. So explore each of those kinds. The 1/2 inch ones are $3.50, and the 15 millimeter ones are about $5.50. So here we go. We're just going to supercharge it one last time here. Show you how to fully charge the water, and then of course at the very end, like I say, for the regular maintenance, you want to take out the magnets so they don't oxidize. And so the last little tip with that, with the magnets, is on the front here, what I do is I just screw in a screw. I'll come back, and then you just put the magnets there, or screw it in here and put the magnet on there, so when you take it out, the magnet goes there, and all you got to do is, if you see those magnets there, then you know it's good. So there it is, supercharging, oxygenating right there. And as you can see from before, if the water is lower, there is more oxygenation if you really want to oxygenate the water. But this is very quiet, and it's very meditative too, because the motor's not too loud, and it's got the sacred geometry of the tube torus. Oxygenation, nice little sound. Beautiful stuff here. And like I said, here you want the magnets to be applied as close to the vortex there, and there's a lot of amazing colloid activity right there on the top as things come up through there and stuff. So it's really awesome. It's perfect, just like that. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. Just check out the links here. They'll be coming up on the video here, where exactly to get the magnets. And yeah, remember, these fans are also available. These fans at a lot of like hardware stores. Here we got Walmart and Canadian Tire. I think in the States would be like Target or Gymco or things like that they got down there. And they're about brand new. They're $20 to $30, or maybe $35, $25 to $35 brand new, or $10 at a thrift store or garage sale, or online. Alright, so there you have it, folks. Make your own water structures. All in all, it's a really good product for way cheaper. You can do a lot. These units would cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. The ones you buy in the stores are made out of plastic containers, and they don't have the science and the geometry and the power that these ones do. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm Jordan Blake, the Liver Flesh Man. And see you guys next time. And one more thing, guys, I just wanted to quickly go over your other alternative options to clips, like make alternatives to clips like this. This is pretty good, but it doesn't line up perfectly. If you work at it and you take your time, you could probably do a really good job. Or you can find octahedron type glass or plastic pieces or metal pieces that are already the perfect size that can just slide over the top of the carboy up top here, on the top of it. But I'll tell you what the options are here, which are kind of better in a way, because if the gaps that are in between here are also making it further away, you want it as close to the vortex at the top, the neck at the top, as possible. So these are the options. All these things I have down here, I'll show you what we got. First of all, this is an hexagonal six-sided glass jar here. So this could be cut in half on the two sides here and slid over top, say the neck of a bottle like that, and slide over top with the magnets just glued on or taped on the side, and then you can just actually hold your bottle and just spin it like this, and or have the other bottle on top like this, which I'm going to do tutorials on this, how to structure water like this, making the little connector in the middle. But as far as for the carboy, I found this Bragg's is the best one, the Bragg's liquid amino acids bottle. I was testing different size. These are coins, and I believe these are like 1.5 inch or 1 3/4 or something. So this was just a test, because there are magnets available around these sizes as well. These are the difference in size of the ones, the 1 inch ones. So these are almost 2 inch, so 1 3/4 or so. So this here is a piece of PVC pipe, ABS, and it fits around the neck of these bottles, especially these ones here, these nice thin ones. So it's a nice way to add a middle piece, so the bottles, when they connect inside and they screw together, that it's all nice and solid as well for these versions. So this is kind of nice, and it fits exactly 6 right around this ABS with the 1 inch. You may just need 1 wrap or 2 wraps of tape to make it perfect. Now, because the magnets stick together like that, like how they stick together, as long as they're exactly touching, it just goes around, then it's a perfect hexagonal structure. So I found the black ABS works, but also even better than that is this one right here. It's exact same size right there. So the ABS, this is a little glass a spice jar for spices, and so basically that will be perfect, as well as to add the 1 inch magnets perfectly around this. And then this can also go around the neck of the bottles like this. What I'm going to teach further, not in this tutorial, but look at my other videos, to cut these in half on the sides and then make little connector pieces that are all glass, high quality, with the high powered magnets. So check out that video, it's going to be coming soon, how to make a really all glass product, high magnets and glass product, to connect the two bottles together. All you need is this extension piece. It goes in your pocket, and you can get any bottle, whether plastic or glass, and structure your water before you drink it. So now, with the big magnets this size, which I'm planning on doing, it almost fits perfectly around the jars here, but not quite. It's a little bit loose. So so what I'm going to do is, I found that the coconut water as well as the Bragg's are exactly the right size for these coins here. So if I can get the magnets exactly the same size, then what I found is that if you wrap it around the bottle, it perfectly lines up just like that, right to the edge, right around it. Perfect. exactly, and it even, because the bottle is plastic, it can push in a little bit, so it gives exactly the perfect resistance. So in that case, I'll move you up here and show you what I'm talking about for the top of the bottles here. Is basically, this is going to go, we're going to cut the bottle about right there in half. It's going to slide over top the cap, and the magnets will be around it, so it just goes right around the neck. So that's an alternative, either the Brags or the coconut water. And coconut water is also, these bottles are really harder than pop cans, so it's nice and solid as well. And as well, show you how it just also fits perfectly from edge to edge right around. So you can just cut a coconut bottle and place it on top here with the magnets around, and that'll structure. But ultimately, I like the fact that these normal beer bottles, or whether they're clear or not, that this size is just a tiny bit small, too small. But small is okay, because then all you got to do is just add a couple pieces of tape. You see it just slightly overlaps right there, just a little bit. So just a couple wraps of tape around here, and then the magnets get taped on. And then with that other video, like I said, I'll teach you how you can cut it perfectly around the glass here, so it'll be a nice glass product that just slides over the top of the carboy, just nice and snug, and it'll be great for structuring. So just give you some ideas of what to be looking for this stuff, and some of my future videos and how it's all going to come out. So stay tuned for my future videos. We're going to keep evolving this further and further and further until we get it perfected. Alright, thanks for watching. We will see you next time.